What is the craziest encounter of rich kid syndrome that you have experienced? Girl at work told me she hated her dad. I asked why. She said he keeps asking for money since she used his credit card for a Euro trip and left him a 80 grand bill from last year. First day as a librarian in a private school. Help a 7-year-old with the printer. He offers to tip me. My friend is a commercial pilot and works for a large company that has a flight department consisting of several jets and turboprop airplanes. The owner's kids and a group of their friends were granted permission to take one of the jets from the central part of the US to the Bahamas. Upon arriving in the Bahamas, they were meeting other friends and getting on a very, very large yacht for a week. They realized the yacht was equipped with fine dining food, not the type of food they liked, junk food. They ordered the pilots to fly back through US customs and to their hometown in Midwest. Once there, they had to pick up several multiple sides of barbecue ribs, burgers, hot dogs, soda, beer, and piles of other junk food and fly back to the Bahamas. And do so within a time frame that still allowed them to leave with the yacht on time. It costs roughly $5,000 an hour to operate the jet they were using, and it never even struck the owners as something extreme. Twins in high school. Birthday, I think it was 17. They get matching pickup trucks, like the souped up larger than life cool as fuck looking black ones. Twin A is the brat and smashes his in some remarkable time frame. I want to say same day. It was crazy though. Parents decide not to get him another one, though I'm sure insurance probably covered it even if it was his fault. But regardless, he is going to learn a lesson. The lesson? Take Twin's B truck, is the responsible one, and crash it on purpose. If he can't have one, neither can his brother. So much recklessness, spite, and downright illegal in what he did. Follow up. Not sure if he went to prison / etc. I do know he wasn't at school the next year, but he very well could have just dropped out. He was very sketchy. Twin B was actually a really good guy, but as soon as his brother was gone he became very quiet. He did eventually get some sort of car, but I remember it was much more toned down to the point I can't remember what it even looked like. But he got something. There weren't many other rich kids at the school, so this whole story stuck out as a huge event when it happened. Humble rich kid. I was at a club at my college town and my roommate's new friend who drove a Raptor was at the bar. I started shouting shit and we were getting along, so I offered to buy a Y-bomb, vodka Red Bull shot. Being as wealthy as he is, he said, "You don't have to do that, man, save your money, round will be on me." I explained to him it didn't bother, I was having a good time and insisted I buy the shot. Immediately after that, he pulls out a black Amex and purchased the nicest VIP booth in the club, around 3k. Then ask what drink packages they have and ask if he could buy 2 bottles on top of Mac's package. Looks at me and goes, "Tit for tat." Safe to say, I don't recall much after that. I went to college with a guy who totaled 5 Mustangs in a year. I don't think he was sober enough to remember any of them. One time a college dorm mate next door was stressing his dad hadn't yet given him money for the month, and 1,000 wasn't going to last him for the week. Meanwhile, I'm having to donate plasma to afford my next meal. Life just like that. Teacher here. 2 spring to mind. 1. My first teaching job was at a private middle school in one of the wealthiest enclaves in the United States. I taught the kid who told me he didn't finish his homework because his helicopter had stalled over the weekend, so he couldn't leave his family island. He was telling the truth. Same kid was also a huge pain in the ass who wanted to misbehave with the cool kids, and then would lie through his teeth while crying when held accountable. His parents knew he was a jerk and cared enough to bring me a case of wine from their vineyard as a gift every parent-teacher conference or before the holidays, but they didn't care enough to discipline their kid. 2. I now teach at a private school in Europe, and I'm absolutely gobsmacked by how many parents are happy to pay 35k per year to dump their kids into boarding so they can do fuck all as students and repeat grades 1, 2, 3 times because they don't make any effort whatsoever. There was this rich kid in our class who was literally disgusted by us buying used stuff, like computer parts, on eBay. Once during conversation I said I bought on eBay memory model for my PC and said to me that I should have a little dignity, and if I buy used stuff, I should keep it to myself. A 14-year-old in full volume cursing meltdown. Where the fuck is he? Because the pilot of the private helicopter that had brought him there had gone off to get a cup of coffee. The kid was done skiing for the day and found it totally unacceptable that he had to wait 10 minutes before he got flown home. I was that poor kid who ended up getting a scholarship to a ridiculous private school. The one thing that stood out massively for me was probably how much people cared about what everyone else's parents did. Like your parents' achievements counted for yourself. My daddy just brought a new plane. Yes, literally a statement. So what does your dad do? When I replied, fuck all, they laughed and thought I was being cool about it. There's a lot of rich kids in my particular business program in university. I met this one girl a few months ago at a social. We were chatting a bit about our program and she proudly told me about how she threatens to sue the school whenever things don't go her way. She also said something to the effect of, they have to take the threat seriously because they know I actually have the means to follow through, haha. A girl in my school was surprised by her parents in the school's parking lot with a new BMW. A freaking BMW. Everyone who is out is basically watching this go down and she starts crying. At first we were all thinking it's because she's so happy, but then she runs back into the school. Apparently they were supposed to show up early, I'm assuming when there would be more students to witness the surprise. I felt bad for the dad because he looked totally embarrassed and sad about it. You know, in his head he's like, I created this monster. My college roommate's mom gave him fucking $1,400 for the weekend, just randomly. He blew through the whole thing by Saturday. Asked his mom for more money and was screaming at her because she promised $1,400 for the weekend, and he spent most of what she gave him on Friday, which isn't a part of the weekend. Ex-girlfriend's friend said to me, "Can you believe there are people who have never been on a private jet?" Yeah, I'm one of them. I know someone who goes out of the country just to have a haircut. Girlfriend's family is wealthy, she's working her way to it, but she was waiting to get a chance for a promotion and the words, "I cannot believe anyone would make somebody work for almost a year to get a promotion" came out of her mouth, and I laughed. Not exactly rich kid syndrome, but there was this family that had two children who attended the elementary school that was connected to my middle school. Every day the two parents would leave the house and drive separately to pick up their two kids before returning home. I should mention at this point that they each drove a Lamborghini, one black and one orange, back to back in the pickup line to get their kids from elementary school. At first I thought they were just being showy, but then I realized that they were two-seaters, so this was really the only way to do it. Dad bought his college-age daughter a house in a very nice neighborhood so that she and her friends could live rent-free while they attended university. He remodeled the entire house. In all, he probably spent close to $2 million. 2 weeks after moving in, they left the candle burning while they went to the store to get snacks for a football game. Came home and the house was on fire. A month later, it was good as new for them to move back in.